So now we've got the image we're going to work with the opacity down. I've referenced images to the side here. I'm going to lock layer 1. I'm going to create another layer and I'm going to name this layer facial features. Okay, and just like you did with the Julian Opie work, we're going to be using our pen tool, which is found in this in these tools over here, and you want to change the fill so that there's no fill. You want to change the stroke to black, not white, to black, and make sure that the stroke is at 1, and zoom in and just start to fill in the facial features. I'm starting with the eyebrows, and it doesn't have to be perfect. What I'm doing is I'm drawing straight lines, so I'm not holding down on I'm not holding down the left click, so I'm not doing this. So I'm creating straight lines. Okay, nose. This is really going to help us to create more of a geometric shape. If you leave the eyes for a minute, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the eyes afterwards. Just going to finish off these ears. So as you can see, it doesn't have to be perfect. Lips. Okay, so because his eyes are quite droopy, I'm going to actually use the lip. You don't have to do this, but with these type of eyes, I'm going to use I like to use the ellipse tool just to get more of an ellipse shape, and I'm going to come up to my selection tool and make sure it's on direct selection tool. And what you can do is I'm going to double click where I see these anchor points, and I can drag the shape to make it seem more like the shape of an eye. That's fine. I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this, and I'm going to left click, control, and then I'm going to just reflect this by 90 degrees, click OK, and just bring it over to the other side like that. And for the pupils, I'm going to hold shift with the ellipse tool, draw a circle like that. In fact, I'm going to edit this this eye just a little bit. That's fine. And then come over to my razor tool, and I'm just going to erase the top section of this pupil. And I'm just going to place that there, make it a tiny bit bigger. And again, come back to my direct selection tool. I'm just going to double click on that anchor point and zoom in so I can see what I'm doing. Double click on that anchor point and align it like that. I'm going to copy and paste this pupil over to this eye, and again come up to my direct tool, and just align it like that. I think for now that's fine. I'm just going to click on this eyebrow and the second eyebrow by holding shift so they're both selected, and I'm going to change the fill. I'm going to make it black, and I'm going to do the exact same thing with the pupils and the insides of the eyes. I'm going to make white. Okay, and so with some of these features, as you can see, he's got a lot of creases in his face, a lot of wrinkles. So to draw these, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the paintbrush tool. So if you come over to your brushes over on this side and you click on brushes, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create a line. So come over to your line tool, hold shift and create a simple line. Anywhere is fine. And then you're going to want to come to brushes, your brushes panel, click new brush, OK, and you want to change the size to 2, and come over to your paintbrush tool, and now you should be able to paint. Okay, I'm going to come back to my layers panel here just so I can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to change the stroke again, so bring the stroke down, and I'm just going to go over these details, over these eyes, try and make these lines straight, to have some kind of flow, so they're not just like rigid lines. It's quite difficult with a trackpad and mouse, but it's manageable. Okay. Top of on his forehead. These bits under his nose, coming down to his mouth. There's some bits down here. Okay, I'm happy with that. And just going to delete these scribbles that I've made. So Command X. Okay, and just going to start doing some of the details on his neck. So I'm going to come back to the pencil. I'm just going to create some lines for his neck. His neck actually starts here, as you can see. And okay, that's fine. I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to lock that layer. And what you can start to do is you can start to toggle your visibility just to see how you're working and see if you're happy with things and see what direction that you're going in. So that's the end of this step. In our next step, we're going to be filling in the planes of the head that we can see in our reference images onto the image which we're using.